If I had to go back in time 15 years, knowing nothing about cooking, what would be the very first recipe that I would learn how to make? I've been thinking a lot about this recently because my dad told me that he wants to get into cooking, and for the vast majority of you who do not know my father, he's one of the most brilliant men on the planet, but his practical skills in the kitchen leave a lot to be desired. And I think this tomato sauce recipe is the perfect recipe for anybody who is just starting off their cooking journey to really learn some basics. Whether it's like foundational knife skills, or how to build a sauce, or how to season things, how to taste things. And you're even lucky enough that you can turn this recipe into a plate of pasta in like 15 minutes or less. So there's some instant gratification over here. Hi, Millie. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make an incredible tomato sauce and all of the techniques that go along with it. Let's jump into it. What you doing?
For a good tomato sauce, we need 4 core components: a cooking fat, some flavorful aromatics, quality tomatoes, and your seasoning. To start, we are going to place a stainless steel pot onto the stove over a medium heat and add a generous amount of olive oil to the bottom of the pan. The olive oil not only adds richness to the sauce and a hint of bitterness to balance things out, but it also acts as the perfect cooking medium for our aromatics. And the first one that we're going to be adding is plenty of garlic. Now, you can add these as whole peeled cloves for a more mellow garlic flavor, or you can even mince them into smaller pieces for a more intense garlic flavor. The more surface area that your garlic is exposed to, the more of its flavor it's going to give off into your sauce. Now, I like a nice happy middle, so I split the cloves in half and I cut them into thin slices before adding them to the pan. Give your pan a really good shake and continue to saute over medium-low heat for a couple of minutes. Now, I like a really deep roasted garlic flavor, so I like to brown my garlic quite well. But do be careful, because if you overcook your garlic, it tends to take on a little bit of a bitter taste to it. Additionally, I would recommend adding some heat, and you can simply add this in the form of some freshly ground black pepper, but I absolutely love the flavor of chili with tomato, so I'm adding a little bit of chili flake to the oil here. By adding the spices at this stage, we are toasting them off so they give off more flavor, and we're also infusing them into the oil that's going to cook our tomatoes. After about a minute of cooking, we are going to add our hard herbs to infuse. I love a couple of bay leaves with tomato, but feel free to add any hard herbs like rosemary, thyme, marjoram, or even oregano. Additionally, I had some extra basil sprigs, and basil and tomato go amazingly together, and I like to add them at this stage also. Okay, let's finally talk tomatoes. When fresh tomatoes are in season during the summer months, this sauce can be incredible using fresh grated tomatoes. However, for the rest of the year, canned tomatoes are an incredibly delicious alternative. And since they are obviously the star of the show here, it is very important to use the best quality tomatoes that you can find. Ideally, find canned whole tomatoes with their skins removed, as less processing of the tomato just leads to a better product. Also, look closely at the ingredients list. You are looking for one that is as short as possible. I got this one from a reputable supplier, and the only ingredients are tomatoes and salt. Add these directly to your pot along with a really good pinch of salt. And now you can just cook all of this together for like 15 minutes and be done and have some amazing sauce. But I like to add a little splash of water to my cans to rinse them out and add it back to the tomato sauce, which I will continue to simmer low and slow for anywhere between 45 and 60 minutes. This cooking time allows for the flavors to properly infuse into the sauce from all those aromatics that we added, as well as letting their sauce reduce and the tomatoes to concentrate in flavor and take on more cooked notes. If you're using whole tomatoes, once they're inside the pan, I would recommend using a potato masher just to crush them up into more of a tomato pulp. My canned tomatoes were already crushed, so I didn't really need to do this at this stage. As your sauce cooks, I would encourage giving it a little bit of a taste every 15 minutes or so, just to see how your flavor is developing and evolving. This is just really good practice for building up the ability to taste your food. Now, tomatoes themselves are inherently very sweet, acidic, and savory, so our job is to let that tomato shine. So once your sauce is concentrated in flavor and it's thickened slightly, you can turn off the heat, and it's time to adjust the seasoning one last time. Adjust with a small pinch of salt if you're not getting much flavor from the sauce. Add a few cracks of black pepper or a pinch of chili if it needs a bit more heat. You can add a little bit of sugar if you think that your sauce lacks a little bit of sweetness. And you could also add a tiny drizzle of red wine vinegar or something similar if you think it's a little bit too sweet and could use a touch more acidity. At this point, remove your large aromatics like the bay leaf and basil from the pot, and you can optionally blend the sauce if you prefer something a little bit smoother. I personally love a little bit of texture in my tomatoes, so I'm leaving it completely as is. And that's kind of all there is to it. You can store this in the fridge for 5 days or in the freezer for long-term storage. Or you can turn your sauce into an incredible plate of pasta by adding your chosen pasta to a pot of salted boiling water and cooking it for 3 minutes less than the package instructions. Then in a separate pot, you can add your tomato sauce, a good splash of pasta water, and your slightly undercooked pasta. You can simmer and mix everything together for a good couple minutes until the sauce is reduced, your pasta is cooked, and the two have become nice and homogeneous. I would recommend serving this immediately with a generous grating of fresh Parmesan or pecorino, maybe a little sprig or some sliced basil, and optionally a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil.
No eating cheese off the chopping board, little naughty. Come here. Hope you found this video useful. If you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you'd either subscribe using the button here, or if you'd watch another video using the link here. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Say bye.